it's Clay Trader, and this will be a video chart on XHB, which is a spider that tracks the home builders sector. So what that means is when individual companies that are in the construction industry and so forth are having good days, the XHB is also having a good day. And I wanted to start to track this one because, as we know, the first domino to kind of fall that created this whole mess was in the housing sector, and home builders play a vital role in that. When the housing market is booming, so are these guys, and when things are really getting nasty, the home builders also suffer. So I know the XLF, which tracks the financial sector, gets a lot of attention and press because the financials are pretty much driving this market up or down. But the main cause that really disrupted the financials was the housing industry. So it's worth at least tracking the XHB since it does kind of show what the overall sentiment is in the housing sector. So with that being said, first thing I want to point out is just this right here. As you can see, as the rest of the market rallied, in my opinion, this had a lot to do with it. This particular chart right here. Financials starting to look better. There were some good, not good, but relatively decent housing numbers that came out relative to what they had been. Mortgage applications increased and so forth, and some people were feeling good about things. Whereas the last couple of days, there was some not so good housing stuff that came out, and as you can see, that's kind of what's shaping up here. But I want to do a little bit more of an overall picture, highlight some supports, resistance levels, and just kind of point out what we want to look for. Just a real quick charting lesson on trend lines. Hard to see right there, but that was a high. So if we draw this down, we have one connection, two connection, three connection. You can see right here, price broke out above, came back down, tested it, hovered around, and then really took off. So for those people that were using charts and trend lines that were following this one, they would have had a real nice entry here and made some nice moves. So like I said, just a real quick chart lesson on trend lines. So now to the actual chart. The key spot right now that I'm looking at, and we're kind of getting pretty close to it, is this support level right here. Why am I picking this one? Well, if you look, you can see that right here the price hovered around it before getting knocked down. Here came up pretty close to it, got knocked back down. Here a few days hovered around it, and when it finally got above it, made a nice move. And then classical technical analysis right here, pulled back, tested that level. It had been previously resistant, it became support, bounced back up, price came back down here again and again, and both times the price has recovered and headed back up. So what is this exact level? We can say 1175 to be, for simplicity's sake, but if we want to open it up into a range, I'd say between $11.75 to $12. But this is really an important level that I will be watching and tracking. And if this cannot hold, then I'm looking for, the overall market to make a bigger leg down. And the one area that I'm looking at where my next price target would be down here right around the $10 region. Once again, we have a low here, 10.27, and another one of 9.96. So if you want to split the difference, we can say something like 10.15 or so. But right here is my next price target if the support level doesn't hold up there. So if this doesn't hold, then that would mean that we're getting more bearish news that's coming out in terms of the housing sector, and things just aren't looking as good as what we thought they might have been. But hopefully this can hold and we can bounce back up. But we are starting to make lower lows, or excuse me, lower highs. See, 1, 2, and then 3. All three have been lower than the previous one. So things were getting a little shaky here, and today had pretty high volume and a red day, and we were actually pretty green at one point. At one point during the day, the price was up here at 12.75. However, by the end of the day, the bears had come and pushed it all the way down here. So not exactly what you want to see, but that's what happened. Now in terms of resistance levels, like I just noted, we have all these previous highs, 1275. We have this region here, which looks about 1310. Then we go up here to right around $14. So on any sort of bounce up, there is going to be some battles going on in terms of resistance levels. The other thing that I wanted to note was the indicators. You can see that the stochastic is down here into oversold territory, so that is one benefit in terms of being oversold or overbought. According to stochastic, this is getting into oversold, but then again, indicators are just secondary confirmers. The kings in technical analysis are first price action and second volume, so those are important things. And right now, we had high volume with a nasty looking candle here, so that's not boding too well. But in the overall picture, we really do want to keep our eye on this green line here. If that can't fall, then I'm looking for a continued downwards move in the overall market, as this pretty much dictates quite a bit what the overall market's doing, along with the XLF. So we'll keep our eyes on it. Hopefully this can hold, but we'll see what happens. Only time will tell. So once again, this was the XHB, which tracks the home builders sector. Thanks for listening.